Season 4, Episode 12, A New Man. Ferris, have you ever woken up on the wrong side of the bed?
Yes, this morning.
Well, times that by, times that by 4, and you'll get how Giles feels in this episode. We're going to talk about it right now.
Oh, damn it.
Maybe, possibly not. I was right the first time. We are going to talk about it. Ferris, glad to see you back on Rewatchers Council. Glad everybody's here.
Back-to-back weeks.
We're setting an attendance record. Here, pretty amazing stuff. Now, let's get into the meat of this. For goodness sakes, enough dilly-dallying. Well, its original air date, January 25th, 2000. Ferris. This one written by Jane Espenson. The last one she wrote was Pangs. Now, she also co-wrote Doomed, which was like the last episode, guys. Directed by Michael Gershman. Last time he was behind the chair was in Consequences. The episode with very few consequences to it, as it turns out.
Yes.
Now, number one movie in your United States of America, still reigning champion, probably the highest grossing movie of the entire, what they like to say, century, and those not the century. Next Friday, still number one movie at this time in 2000.
I can't get jiggy with this shit.
I still haven't seen it. All right, number one.
Wow, Rob!
I told you I'm going to watch all three. I'll have a whole day. Well, I'll do it in consecutive Fridays. I think I said. Yes. I think that makes more sense. Number one song. It's still so disappointing. I Knew I Loved You by Savage Garden.
I've never heard of that song.
You consider yourself lucky because it is generationally terrible. It's an awful song. And number one song in the UK, and the song I'd never heard before, but the English have a way of somehow getting a deeper tracks up to number one, I guess. I guess it must have been made a single. Born to Make You Happy by Britney Spears.
No. It's like that Michael Jackson song. Remember that Michael Jackson song? Was it Blood on the Floor?
Blood on the Dance Floor?
Blood on the yeah, like I know a lot of Michael Jackson songs.
Sure.
But I never heard of Blood on the Floor.
Blood on the he still hasn't even said it right, but yes.
Oh, Blood on the Dance Floor. My bad.
And number one in Canada, still, because Gluttons for Punishment up here, it would seem. Blue Dabba-Dee by Eiffel 65.
Yeah.
Dabba-Dee, Dabu-Dow.
I think you got the best out of the three.
I think so. Looking back, 25 years removed, that was probably, of the three choices, that was probably the best one.
Yes.
We'll have to say that for sure. Now, DVD summary time first. Feeling suddenly old and useless, I will ask you, sir, to hold the jokes. Giles drowns his sorrows at a pub with old friend.
Yeah, friend's a stretch.
And sorcerer Ethan Rayne, and winds up with much more than just a simple hangover the next morning. Old friend. I guess that's one time they were friends. I wouldn't consider them friends by any means.
I don't even think they're frenemies. They're enemies.
Yeah, well, Ethan keeps trying to do in Giles.
Giles tries to kill him all the time.
Beat him up all the time. Give him a darn good thrashing. You know what I mean? Now, it's going to start out, speaking of thrashing, Ferris, it's going to start out with Buffy and Riley in her dorm. Things are getting,
hot and heavy.
A little comfortable. They're getting a little comfortable with each other, which is nice. But unfortunately for the two of them, Willow comes in to do a little bit of blocking. But she has some
for a reason.
She has some serious news. Unfortunately, there is something breathing fire in the dorm's cafeteria. She gets there, and oh my gosh, it was just
something worse.
Yeah, it was the worst thing imaginable to her. Through her horror, Ferris, it's a surprise birthday party.
19.
Happy 19th birthday, Buffy. She'd be allowed to drink. She'd be allowed to drink in Ontario now.
Yes. Honestly, she should be allowed to drink, period, because of the stuff she goes through.
I'm surprised that she doesn't.
Yeah.
She drank the one time and she gets liquor shamed for it for the entire
Oh yeah, yeah,
rest of the series.
yeah.
Ugh. No one's gonna shame Giles. And he likes to tipple.
Have a stiff
You know what I
drink
mean?
once in a while.
Oh my gosh. Well, he's drinking beer in this one. Oh, this is so bad. Now, you see, Giles, speaking of, making a little bit of small talk with Xander and Anya here. Of course, Anya with the doesn't have any kind of inner monologue at all. She just blurts out everything she feels. And this time she's feeling bored and hungry. Xander gives her the quick little reprimand here. He's like, "Well, you talked about this. Come on, goddamn." So she's going to apologize, but Giles said, no, he just dismisses him. Willow comes up next.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to fill him in and fill all of us in on who these other faces are, because none of us have any idea.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
No.
Randos around the dorm.
Yeah, supposedly they're all dorm friends, and
Mm-hmm.
then folks from Riley's work
Yes.
as well. But no
A
one tells.
paramilitary institution that he operates in.
They decided not to tell Riley about the surprise, obviously, because he's in there ready to kick demon ass, and then has to, he has to.
He has a crossbow ready to shoot somebody.
He has to wind it up. He's like, no, can't do that. I have a feeling why they never told Riley, because he's shit at keeping secrets, especially
Mm-hmm.
government secrets. Yeah, shitty secret keeper, Riley Finn. Anyways, Buffy's going to finally introduce him to Giles, introduces him as her boyfriend. Well, isn't that nice? Things are
Mm-hmm.
they're moving to another level here. Giles, of course, a little bit surprised by this. He tells Riley that she tells Riley that Giles was the old school librarian. Why won't she just tell him that he's her watcher?
Yeah, because you already
Like,
told her. You already told him you're the
yeah,
Slayer.
yeah. I think the most secret part is out, Buffy. You
Yes.
told you told him who you are, and you come from a long line of them.
Mm-hmm.
The one in the world that fights
Yes.
the demons and vampires. He was just a guy who watched you and helped you out. Why not just say that? Anyways, they had a nice little joke about how it's looking a little run down since he left the place and stuff like that. And then Riley asked if he's retired. Giles says, "Oh, well, he's in between projects at the time or whatever." Then Riley goes get some cake. And Buffy's going to remind us of all her past birthday foibles didn't really turn out well.
No.
If I remember, when a couple years ago kind of unleashed a certain vampire onto the world.
Yes.
Yeah, and then she's going to bring up Professor Walsh. Starts gushing about her. She's absolutely the smartest person she's ever met. All of these, just gut punch after gut
Why
punch.
don't you just slap Giles in the face
Yeah,
instead?
why don't you just spit on his cake, for God's sake?
Yes.
It means nothing to him. Anyways, so unsurprisingly, Giles isn't going to take it well. He gives a little bit of salt here. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
she should have been invited. He's sounding a little hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And Buffy then has to tell him that she probably has better things to do. It's like, oh, poor Giles. He really gets it in this one. Now, we see Spike. He's finally going to move out of Xander's basement, looking for a crypt. So something a little more apt.
Mm-hmm.
He says, it might not be as dank and depressing as the basement, but it's going to do. Anya's going to try and give him Xander's lamp. So he has to say,
There's no electricity. Why would you give me a
there's no
lamp?
electricity. And then it's
Yeah.
like, oh, that means no fresh blood. And he's
Yes.
like, oh yeah,
True.
that's not great.
Not great.
Then he decides, you know what, a hotel's going to be better. So he wants some money. Xander for money. Xander just keeps repeating his get out of here position. We see Buffy now telling Professor Walsh that she's the Slayer. She's coming clean with everything now.
Mm-hmm.
Again, they thought the Slayer was a myth. And then we get the classic line, well, you were myth taken, Ferris.
That was so stupid.
How dare you?
I was so
How
dumb.
dare you, sir? Anyways, now Walsh knows why she couldn't, fulfill her academic promise.
Mm-hmm.
She's been fighting the same cause that they've been, except they have all the state-of-the-art stuff. She has a pointy stick.
I love how she's like, you can't fulfill your academic promise. I knew you were better than a B minus average, and I'm like, that's not that bad.
I take a B minus.
That's not that bad. That's not
I
that
will.
bad. With
Oh,
your with the
I got a B minus.
with the extracurricular activities, a B minus average ain't that bad.
Yeah. With a B minus, I'd be on the honor roll. Now, anyways, she believes that they have much to learn from each other, and why wouldn't they? And is working on getting her clearance and entrance into the initiative. She's going to join the club. Ferris, maybe even get paid. Wouldn't that be something? Just like if Spider-Man got a job, it'd be great. Now, we get a little uncomfortable.
You think the Avengers pay them?
No.
Like Shield?
Well, I think if they did that, Spidey's aunt would have lived in a nicer apartment. You know what I mean? Unless that place is rent controlled, maybe that was she was about.
That's true. Yeah.
Yep.
Well,
Aunt May should have had a nicer place. Maybe, somewhere out in out in the suburbs. Anyways, Riley asks how many hostiles, or has asked how many hostiles he's taken down. 17. It's a 17 body count. 11 vamps, six demons. Buffy's going to do a little ego massaging here. But guys, here's the deal. All right, guys, ladies, here's the deal. Never give out your body count. Never. It will never do you any good. No. It's not the brag thing you think it is, and you don't want to shame anybody or get shamed for it for that matter. It's none of anybody's business. Anyways, Buffy's probably over 100 by now. Anyways,
100.
Easy.
Probably over 2.
Yeah, this is just the ones that we've seen. I think she's over 100. Anyways, you don't see her answer when the professor asks, but you do see Giles dusting his books. It's got to be the worst, most pathetic thing we've seen on the show so far. Then he finds one that interests him, and something automatically springs to mind. The demon Prince Bavra is rising that very night. How could he have missed it? Like, it's probably on a calendar somewhere. He's got to call Buffy.
Is he still connected to the council?
He is not.
Exactly. So the council is basically, they're waiting for him to die.
Yeah, who knows who's working for the council? There's no Wesley. There's no him. Everybody else who went there got their ass beat by Faith. And they're just like, yeah, well, Buffy also said she's firing them. So, they're just kind of in a circle pattern somewhere in a
just letting the
castle or something
dictate the terms.
Well, this is she. Yeah. Well, she told him, it's like, you're not fighting the war, I am. So there you go. She's the everything in this. So these guys didn't respect it. Now they get to find out. Anyways, Willow doesn't know where Buffy is, but Giles is like, well, probably can't wait. Buffy is actually filling Riley in on some of her stories. We get he now knows that Buffy drowned.
Yes.
And then he says the snake. I don't know if he was talking about the at that frat party or whatever, in the basement of that frat party with Cordelia, or whether it was the mayor, a bit more than the snake, I think. Anyways.
Probably the frat party.
She's just trying to play it off. She reasons that she's been doing this since she was 15 years old, which also startles him, which I think is fair.
I would be kind of what?
Yeah. He's worried that he wouldn't be able to take her. And then she gets a little flirty, and she has to guess his meaning on this one. But then we get to see Giles go see the professor, talking. I thought he was kind of smoother with the ladies, Rupert Giles. He seems to have never had any problems, but he seems to be a little awkward around Maggie Walsh. He introduces himself as Buffy's friend and librarian.
Yeah, I don't understand why they don't just say the council. Does the council want to stay secret? They're not a part of the council.
I don't know why. I don't know if he knows that Maggie knows that Buffy is the Slayer or not. I think he knows.
Oh, yeah, not yet. Yeah, not yet.
Yeah. Maggie just says that Buffy isn't around. Giles has mentioned, she's being very influenced by her. She says she's been all that Buffy's been having is, she's been lacking educational encouragement now. Giles is going to argue that students should find their own strengths. They should find their own footing. Ferris. Professor says that, if it's true about hiking, it should be true about life. Really kind of digging at Giles here, who she's known for 2 minutes. And then things don't seem to be going so well. Giles is going to say that Buffy's not typical, in hopes that Maggie isn't going to push her. Professor argues that she does know her, and that she's unique, and that her self-reliance isn't a good thing, and it's unhealthy to take on so many adult roles, and blames it on the absence of a male role model, a positive. Giles,
right in the gut.
He has not had a good first act. That's everything that happened at the
He's having a
birthday
bad
party.
day. He's having a bad day.
If you think today is bad, just you wait. And then she asks him to leave and says that she'll tell Buffy that her friend was by looking for her. So now Giles has a bit of an attitude. He's getting a little, as much of an attitude as a proper English gentleman can get, I suppose. He goes with Xander and Willow ought to find this Prince Demon. Looks like they're late, though. Giles is going to blame it on the Buffy search and the professor now. Xander mentions that he also got lost on campus. So, yeah, all right. I think they were I don't know why you get lost on campus when he's just going to a graveyard. You figure by now, even though there's like 100-something graveyards, he'd have them pretty much down by now. Giles says he can vanquish the demon himself. He's done it plenty of times, but warns, as they're late, there could be carnage everywhere here. So get ready for it. They walk in, though, and the crypt's looking pretty pristine. As far as crypts go, there isn't like a rogue demon. There's nobody even been rooting through it and stuff like that. Also, fun fact: this crypt is going to come into use quite a bit throughout the rest of the season. Just hold on to that. He thinks they just got lucky because the Prince Demon hasn't risen yet. Will thinks maybe the initiative got it, and then has to explain that Riley is one of the commandos that Giles has been looking for all this time. Again. Another. This one is probably even a lower blow. This one is probably, below the belt. Ferris, as they say. Not great. Now Giles is getting pissed that no one ever bothered to let him know. Buffy is dating one of these damn soldiers. He asks who else knows. Xander says no one except Anya.
Yeah.
Anya knows.
And Spike.
Willow has to add Spike. Oh, the word.
And Spike.
He's unhappy. He's
very unhappy, absolutely.
Xander also has to add that Professor Walsh is the one in charge of this whole thing, and that's it.
He lost.
He is, to say spiraling, I think, is a nice way of saying. He's starting to spiral a bit now. He calls Maggie a fishwife. Now that's
I've never heard of that insult.
Ferris, that's something you just can't take back.
I guess so. I don't know.
As soon as he calls someone a fishwife, yikes. Anyways, Willow tries to say that she's not that bad. Giles gives her the old death stare about that. Then he sends them off. They quickly do so. Giles then leaves right after them. And for, I don't know the how manyth time on this show, someone creeps out of the shadow of this. I don't even think it's a large crypt, but nobody ever, bothered to check this crypt at all, because Ethan Rayne just walks up. He's going to start, soliloquying about how something rather interesting is about to, but as he says that, Giles opens the door saying, "Is someone there?" Ethan says, "Bugger, I thought you'd gone." Every time I see it, I crack up. I really enjoy Ethan Rayne. Unfortunately, it's the last time you'll ever see him on the show. Is this episode? He will be in Chaos Bleeds, the video game, and of course he's into the comics as well. If you want to call what they call season 8 and stuff like that canon, I don't really like to call that. It's kind of weird, those comics. Anyways,
okay.
Pummeling Ethan is sure to cheer up Giles. Ethan tries running. Of course, Giles is going to stop him. It's about to hit him, but Ethan once again begs for Giles to hear him out. He says something's going to happen to them both. So it seems Giles is going to agree now. Maybe you should talk to him since they're going to go have some pints at the bar. As English, they're two English gentlemen. Why not have a couple of American style beers? I guess at the bar doesn't make any sense. Anyways, Ethan asks how their friendship fell apart. Giles is going to answer when you started worshiping chaos. I'm pretty sure they both worship chaos. It's just that Giles stopped.
Yes.
Ethan didn't.
He realized he made a mistake.
Yeah, I don't think it's when you started worshiping chaos. It's that you didn't stop worshiping chaos. Anyways, Ethan tells him that there's been something harming demons around there besides the Slayer. All these demons are scared. The scariest thing is called 314. Remember that for later. Ethan tries to reason with Giles as two old mystics. There are a couple of old mystics, just
through the third eye,
getting together with some beers, almost like a diner looking place in Sunnydale. And he tells them that the new outfit around there is throwing the world out of balance. It's going to be headed for a fight. And they keep all this demon smuggling or whatever they're doing, kidnapping. And we get to see, speaking of some of these people that are doing all this kidnapping stuff, we see Buffy and Rayne doing a little sparring. He's going to ask if she's holding back. She says,
"Oh yeah, she was."
Little. Yeah, they both are. He tells her he's going to go all out. She does. She agrees. Kicks him across the room.
Yep.
He's pretty stunned. He's hurt and stuff like that. But you know what?
I'll be hurt too, man. This is the Slayer, man. She has inhuman strength. What are you doing?
I don't think he fully realized until just then. It's going to turn out. She's going to be talking to Will later that she was holding back, even when she did that too. So there you go, Riley. You know what?
Makes sense.
You asked for it, pal. You asked for it. But back to Giles. He's getting pretty drunk. He's complaining about fighting demons for 20 years. And then he says Maggie's Nancy Ninja Boys have them pissing in fear in 6 months. The Nancy Ninja Boys would have been a good name for one of those English boy bands back in the day, too. Also, one thing I got to say, I'm pretty vocal about how I don't think people act drunk very well. But I think Anthony Stewart Head does a pretty good job. I think he can act drunk pretty good. Ethan asks who Maggie Walsh is. Giles says that he's twice the man she is. Ethan then starts hitting on the waitress, unsuccessfully. He gives her
damn shame.
Gives her a matchbook, I believe, with his motel on it. Again, something that we're supposed to notice him doing. Giles complains that they become has-beens at this point, and that the initiative just gets the job done. He says he's just an unemployed librarian with potential CTE. I would also throw in Ferris. He's although he hasn't been knocked unconscious in quite some time.
No, he hasn't.
Again, the board getting dusty. I'm waiting for the next time Giles has been rendered unconscious by someone. Ethan says, "Don't worry, I poisoned your drink. You put a little poison pill in it and stuff. You'll be dead within an hour." Then laughs. He's just kidding. Oh, that little prankster.
Yeah.
Ethan Rayne. He'd never, you know what I mean? Giles mentions he'll feel like hell in the morning. Ethan tells him to relax. I think we're also supposed to remember he's going to feel like hell in the morning. But we're going to see Will and Tara trying to focus their magic together here. They're going to float a rose and then simply pluck the petals off one by one gently. So they hold hands. Their minds must be in perfect synchronicity here. Ferris, the rose floats. They've job A done. As for job B, the rose then starts flying around the room, eventually puffing into smoke, landing in the circle that they made. Tara doesn't like to tell her that, the petals are gone, though. So, I'll say, 60%. Let's get the. I'm not going to give them a B-, but I'm going to give them a solid C for job well done. I'll also take a C. I had no problem with that. Giles' alarm goes off. correctly assumed he'd be feeling like hell in the morning, then sees himself in the mirror. He's got two horns, some pointy ears. He's got a ridged shoulder and spine. It's just like my ex. He was looked just like my ex, for goodness sake. He obviously reacts poorly to this. He punches a hole in the wall, breaks a stair banister. He's gonna blame Ethan. I think correctly blames Ethan. He knows what's going down, and tries to call someone. Crushes the phone. Tears his favorite shirt. This is not a great morning. All this, everything, nothing's coming up, Giles, in this episode so far.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I can say where he lucked out is he wore some stretchy pajamas to bed. That's the only thing, keeping at least a hint of modesty around here.
You don't want to go full Monty.
No, he went to the same store as the Incredible Hulk.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure that those pants kept together. So he's going to leave the apartment now. He busts the door down in the progress, but did grab a blanket though, just in case it's a little chilly, which I can understand. It's January in California. January, California, it's still kind of cold, isn't it?
Yeah, in certain parts, yeah.
Well, hopefully, now that he has a blanket, it doesn't really matter. We just got to see Buffy and Willow having breakfast. Willow enjoys the new boyfriend, Buffy. Buffy didn't hear Willow come home. Ask where she was.
Mm-hmm.
Willow's going to get a little secretive about this. Doesn't quite tell the whole truth. She does say she was at the chem lab, but she was by herself. She tells her about the rose. She thinks that there's a new dark magic energy blocking the spell. And whoever's doing it is pretty powerful. Ferris, for goodness sake. Buffy thinks she's going to tell Giles. Then changes her mind. Says, you know what? I'm just going to talk with my best friend, my new best friend, mother figure and father figure, Maggie Walsh. Willow says, you know what? Maybe talk to Giles about this. He's feeling a little out of the loop. So Buffy didn't even think about that, and that she never even talked to him about the initiative and who they are, who Riley is. So he says she's going to make it up to him. Tells Willow that she kicked Riley across the room here. Now this is where she tells her, I kind of did hold back, but, just a little bit. So we get to see Demon Giles going over to Xander's, a little annoyed that he's still up at 10:30 in the morning. I remember when I think it was 18. It was like 9:30 in the morning, and my dad, I was there on vacation. I was staying at my dad's place, and he came down at like 9:30 in the morning and said, "What the hell are you still doing at 9:30?" I was 18 years old. Anyways, I don't know why that just automatically jumped in my head. Anyways, it's only 10:30 there. Tries to gently wake him up. Xander thinks it's his mom at first, which is concerning.
Yeah, it's very hurtful.
Yeah, Giles says, it's not your mom. He's gonna be alarmed when he sees him. I like how gently that Giles is talking to him here. It says that Ethan turned him into this and that he needs help. But when Xander does wake up, he sees a demon's face speaking demon at him. He's obviously going to freak out now. He starts yelling. I guess Xander's parents just are never home when these things happen, when things break into his house. And
I'm pretty sure we've noticed that they don't love him.
She offered him punch. She offered him and Giles punch once. His little friend.
Or is it Willow's parents that don't? Or is it Willow's parents that don't love her?
Well, Willow's mother. Willow's mother is an intellectual to a fault. Willow's mother. Let's just say that. Now Giles is begging Xander to understand. Xander's going to start throwing the contents of his pantry at him. There's some frying pans, a few saucepans are going to go at him. Giles finally is going to run off. Xander is going to proclaim victory over this. His brave defeating of a demon within his own home. Very good for him. Giles is running through a neighborhood. He's just running amok. For goodness sakes, Ferris. Breaking children's hearts. He's doing this in front parents and children in Sunnydale, and still, no one ever thinks anything weird about Sunnydale, which is so concerning. I think it's more concerning than anything. He does apologize. Maybe that's why they didn't really complain too much. He's apologizing in his demon language while he does it. But as he runs away, he does call them bloody humans.
Yes.
Bloody. He's changing. He's changing.
He's slowly changing.
Yep. So
he's going crazy.
These scoobs are now worried they're going to go head over to Giles's. Xander's filling Buffy in with all the monster details from his house. And then they get there, they see the destruction, which was just left. This is an apartment building. You know what I mean? This isn't like his house.
Mm-hmm.
No, and they're going to say that later on, Riley's going to say, there's been 911 calls coming from this apartment and stuff like that. Why wouldn't the maintenance guy put the door back on? At least do something.
Why hasn't the building super evicted Giles?
That's true. He causes a lot of maybe it's like the damage deposit is humongous. Like he knew something was going to be up.
Huge.
Yeah, it's like, guys, here's $25,000. I'm just going to keep it here on retainer because who knows what might happen to this thing. Anyways, when they they see the door down, there's no Giles, and you see Giles' torn shirt, reasons that the demon probably just ate him up.
Yes.
Yeah, Giles is now wandering through a cemetery. We see Spike doing a little measuring job on a crypt, which I thought was very nice. He's happy. He sees this demon
because demon walking by.
He can kill demons. This is gonna, make his day.
Mm-hmm.
And Giles, in turn, says that it's the perfect end to a perfect day. Then Spike's gonna realize it's Giles, because Giles has been speaking Fiyarl, which Spike can understand.
Yeah, man. Spike, man, he's multilingual.
He's a multilinguist. Yes. That's something we've known. For how long?
Forever.
I was going to say since a couple of sentences ago. I never knew he knew that kind of stuff before. But we know that they seem to get along with demons quite well, considering what Drew left him for, and maybe some get along with some better than others. Anyways, Giles is going to blame Ethan for this predicament now, and then tell Spike he has to help him so that he can get a good being killed in on Ethan. Spike initially not interested until the magic word is offered here, Ferris. Money. He likes money. So he's going to offer $100. Spike, absolutely insulted by this.
Yes.
He needs more, way more. $200.
Deal.
Just quickly agrees. He hardly had seen it. Spike a little taken it back at that, but he's going to get $200. Nothing wrong with that. And this is $2,000. So who knows what that's worth these days? There's no way to know. Probably $200.
Yeah, we don't. Well, actually, we do.
Of course we do. It's an easy way, but I wasn't going to do it. So, anyways, Giles doesn't want Buffy to know what happened, though. Got to keep everything hush hush.
Yeah, I don't know why, but yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. But we see the Scoobies now researching over at Giles's. Willow wants to know what to do when they find it. Buffy says, well, we'll just figure it out. They hear a noise. Then we see it's just Riley, because he talked about the 911 calls previously. And then he says that he tells them that the initiative have a tap on the system at 911, so they can filter through all the non-human complaints and stuff like that, which is pretty convenient, I think. So Riley says that the neighbors had complained of growling and a struggle. Buffy promises, to get Giles back. Riley promises the full help of the initiative, the full help of all the commandos at her back. Xander thinks that Giles would find himself in a second. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
No one's cooler in a crisis than Giles. In the meantime, he's giving Spike shit about grinding the gears in the Giles mobile.
Completely ruining it.
Yeah. Have you ever driven a standard, Ferris?
I've never driven a car, period.
Oh my gosh. Well, I prefer...
Well, legally.
Oh boy. I knew it.
Yeah.
You are evil. Now, I prefer...
20 more days then I take my test.
Oh, is that right? That's good. Yeah. Well, Good luck to that. But I would imagine you're doing on an automatic then. It used to be
Yeah.
standard. You know why it's called a standard automatic?
Yeah,
Because
no,
it's
yeah, yeah, that's standard automatics. But I want to learn how to play. I want to learn how to drive stick.
yeah, it used to be it's called standard because that's what came with the car.
That was the standard.
If you got automatic, that was an option that you
Hmm.
could get. I
Now the
prefer
automatics are the standard.
yeah, exactly.
And now you call the other one stick.
No, you just call it stick.
Yeah.
It's pretty simple. It's pretty simple to drive a stick, and plus you can go.
What do you mean? Like,
Get the
okay,
little itch.
so we start at first gear, right? And we
Yep,
driving, right?
yep.
And as we're driving, what do we do? Do we come
You hit
down
the
to two?
clutch. Yep, but you make sure you put the clutch in with your foot.
Mm-hmm.
Put it down to two.
Clutch, then
Yep.
bring down.
Yeah, and then the way you release the clutch and put on the gas and stuff like that has to move in motion and stuff like that too, so you're not lurching. It's something that you got to feel for it. It's not hard.
Yeah.
It's a very easy thing to do.
So it's like
Giles has one of my favorite quotes about driving standard in a future episode. I think I can't remember what season it's season 6 or whatever.
We'll find out.
Yeah, you'll find out what it is. I'll bring it up when it happens. I'm sure. Anyways, Spike is going to tell Giles that he had feral demons as henchmen once. They're pretty smashy fellas. You know,
because he said that because he said the word like what dismemberment or something or semblance of something.
Yeah,
he used the big word.
Yeah,
just throw him off.
Giles is going to growl without even knowing.
It's like, did you growl?
Yeah, like, no, no.
I have a feeling to break someone's neck.
Like, yeah. He wonders if he has special powers.
Yeah,
here
does.
Yeah, and then there's
mucus,
a paralyzing
mucus
thing.
Yes.
Yeah, he's got poison boogers. As it turns out, Giles says he feels now how he's changing. He has a mindless need to destroy and rage, and just the way he does the voice and changes is so good. Spike wants him to go with it. He's like, yeah, go with it, buddy. And it's fun. Giles says he has a soul, a conscience, then tells Spike to stop the car. He then chases a screaming Professor Walsh through the streets by the coffee shop or whatever down on Main Street. It's the second time she's fled a monster in fear, Ferris. You'd figure that she's seen a couple of these things before. Maybe she would take it a little easier. Still funny to see her screaming in his arms like this. Very nice. He then goes back to the car. Says, okay, let's go. Xander's going to find a picture of the feral demon. Willow reads that they're strong henchmen. We've already figured this out. And then they have a mucus thing. So Spike wasn't lying. He said he was maybe kidding to Giles. He was not. They have a mucus thing. Then we see Professor Walsh call Riley. They find out it stole his car. And then Silver killed it. One way to kill this bloody demon. Silver. Just like a werewolf. So Xander wonders why a demon would steal a car. And he wonders why that car. You know what? You're just running down the Giles mobile. Like, guys, what did it ever do to you? Buffy thinks it has a reason, but it's probably being controlled by whoever was interfering with the magics. Yeah, she was close, I think. Willow agrees. Buffy has this in case of ransom. She thinks that these demons are going to call for money for Giles. Anyways, she and Riley are headed to the magic shop. Lots of magic shop talk too, by the way, all season. I wonder what's going to happen with this magic shop at some point. But she's going to grab Giles' silver letter opener, the one that isn't too pointy, Ferris. So she's just going to have to push harder. You know what I mean? She's going to really have to stab that guy. Anyways, Spike's drinking and talking at the waitress in the bar now. They find out that Ethan's at that rat trap hotel by the highway, the Sunnydale Motor Inn. Like, come on. Riley and Buffy enter the shop forcefully. She says she shouldn't have done that. So
she has no time to play for the rules tonight.
But Riley has a master key to every shop
up on Main Street.
I think that's more concerning than anything else. You know what I mean? It's like, how does this guy?
Well, he's also
what if one guy wants a wiser, one guy wants a slag?
Well, he does work for the U.S. government, so they probably are following everybody.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Buffy finds what she's looking for quite easily. It's going to be Ethan Rayne. Riley calls it in to command, looking for anyone with that name on a hotel registry. I don't know why Ethan would use his real name.
That's what I'm saying. That's just.
This is not his first time in
Mm-hmm.
Sunnydale, for goodness sakes. I believe this is his third time. He then tells her the professor ordered him for whatever reason. I have no clue. He tells him that Buffy can't go with him when he's taking out the demon. Why? Like, she's
She's
so excited about having the demon around. It's like, Riley, you know that person that's trained and has a destiny to kill these things? Don't have it around. Just you.
he's an
Makes
idiot.
no sense. Makes no sense. But, Buffy doesn't give a crap. Informs him that, oh no, she's allowing him to go with her.
To tag along.
Damn right you are, Buffy, for
Mm-hmm.
enough of this baloney. He says it's a military mission now. She couldn't care less. This thing hurt Giles. She's killing it, and that's it. That's it. So we're gonna see Giles now. He's becoming a little more fioral. Spike's getting a little proud of him.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? They're really bonding over this.
Snap neck now.
Yes, he says that he's picked up a tail.
Mm-hmm.
Giles says it's just a small one, and it hurts to sit. I like that
Mm-hmm.
line quite a lot. Now,
And Spike was like, "No, we got
yeah,
military Humvees behind us."
there's military Humvees here, and it has friends. Giles says he's going to jump out. Spike remembers that they're after him too. Like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
wait! He's after me too. Giles offers another $100, and out he goes.
Yes.
You know what? Tuck and roll. I think it's a rule.
Tuck and roll. Tuck and roll.
And yep, so he rolls out of there. The Humvees don't give a shit about the giant demon that just rolled out of a car. They're after the Giles mobile. So we're going to see at the hotel here again. Ethan packing. And Giles is going to barge in. Oh boy. He grabs him. Ethan tells him he can't turn him back if he's dead. All right. Giles does throw him now. Now, when he throws him, the way Ethan lands looks really painful.
Yes.
Looked really bad. Kudos to that stuntman because yikes, that did not look good.
No.
Now Buffy arrives. Ethan says it killed Ripper. Now it wants to kill him. So Buffy then starts kicking Giles and asking what he did to him. Oh boy. So we get an absolute tragedy coming up after this. These are words I'm going to have trouble saying. I'm going to tell you that right now. Spike's still evading the Humvees. He manages to spin them into each other. He looks in the mirror to gloat. Everybody who gloats on this show seems to get their comeuppance real quick. Because this is where he's going to crash the Giles mobile into the loading dock. His 1963 Citroen DS. It doesn't survive. It doesn't make it. May it rest in power. The Giles mobile. What a run. What a run it had. Anyways, back at the motel. Giles has pushed Buffy off. She punches him. Ethan's going to go and punch Riley. Not a good idea. Gets subdued quite easily. Buffy's really starting to hammer Giles now. And same with Riley. Ethan. When he tries to get away again. Giles is
beat up.
Yeah, they just
Riley beats him up.
This is something this is a date night for them now.
Yes.
We'll just beat the hell out of a couple of jerks. No problem.
Some demon funds.
Yeah. Giles is going to try fighting back, but again, Buffy's going to get him down. Gets on this time. Gets the open up. Says, this is for Giles. He asks for me. Again.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah. And then, of course, he gets a knife in the chest. Oh. Now, when, she stabs him, he sees his eyes open up wide. She knows, oh my God, it's Giles. And so she's going to apologize. And then we're going to see afterwards, he's in Ethan's clothes, which is concerning. Somehow he got stabbed. I guess she missed the heart, possibly. But
it wasn't real silver.
She also questions. She questions if it's actual silver.
Thank God.
yeah. If this is the time that maybe Giles got ripped off of something, this is the way to go. Ethan is gonna lament his need to gloat.
Mm-hmm.
Giles has been returned back to normals. He asks Buffy how she knew it was him. She says his eyes. Aw, isn't that nice?
Nobody can be more annoyed.
Yeah, only he can look as annoyed at
Annoyed.
her.
Yes.
Yeah, Ethan says, "Well, it's time to go. I'm human. You can't do anything to me. Can't kill me." But unfortunately,
U.S. government
the
can.
military police can. They show up, arrest him. They take him to a secret base in the Nevada desert. I believe that's Area 51. I don't want to say. I didn't want to say it out
I
loud,
don't.
but I
I
guess I
don't think
did.
so. I think Area 51's in like Utah or something.
I think it's Nevada, isn't it? I think it's
I don't know.
famously. I'm pretty sure famously it's a secret base in
Is it
Nevada
Nevada?
that
Okay.
everybody was going to storm. When was that? 2 years ago? Remember when
Yes,
everybody was
everyone's
going
gonna
to
storm it
ridiculous
as
morons?
Naruto characters.
Yeah, everyone. Most people there were incredibly out of shape. As soon as they said let's start running, they made it 15 feet, and that was it. Collapsed.
Mm-hmm.
I believe. Now I'm not sure, but I believe that they're still there. Paris, for goodness
Yes.
sakes. Yep. Giles, anyways, quite pleased now to watch Ethan get carted off. He wants to go watch him get manhandled into the car, which is nice.
Yes.
Buffy thanks Riley, says she's Spider-Man strong, and he's impressed how in charge she is. She just says she's a Slayer, a little, humble brag.
Mm-hmm.
And he says he likes it. And next week he's going to take her down. Well, good luck with that. We're going to go back to Giles' place now. I guess the door's been put back on.
Yes. The
He's
maintenance man
got
showed up.
he's gotten a new phone. He gets a little passive aggressive about it being used to give him information. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, we get it. Maybe she just wanted to live her own life and not have to, tell her friendly librarian about everything. Anyways, Buffy apologizes and says again she thought she told him all of this stuff. From now on, she's going to tell him everything. You don't want to tell him everything,
No.
Buffy, especially starting next week. I can tell you that. He says he doesn't want to interfere. She says he has butt face. So after everything else, Giles is told he has butt face. Oh, I think he
Damn.
means also, like butt as in also. He goes on to say the initiative is concerning. He doesn't think what Ethan told him should be discounted. She tells him she's dating Riley, not the initiative, Ferris. He says they don't understand it and mentions that he does hate the professor quite a lot.
Yes.
So
He did chase after her as he was getting away, just for
yeah,
Hilali.
if he would have torn her to shreds on that city street, he would not lose a wink of sleep over it. I am
Yes.
sure. He wants her to stay alert and just know what she's going to be getting into. Then we're going to go see Maggie. They're over at the initiative. She's having a very similar conversation with Riley, about not trusting everything about the Slayer and stuff like that. She says she was all for giving Buffy clearance earlier. I don't know why this has all of a sudden changed. Riley says Buffy is the truest soul he's ever known. It grossed out the professor. It grossed out me. It grossed out me hearing a grown man say something like that. Riley says that
He's in
she'll
love,
be.
man.
Ugh. Riley says that she'll be proud of her. Professor Wall says, "Yeah, you know what? I agree." Then she's going to enter a restricted area, Paris, and from there opens a door that says 314.
14.
Oh, brother! Guess what, guys? Next time we're going to find out what's behind 314 and get another, maybe a deeper look inside the initiative. The Iron Team is the next episode we'll cover here on Rewatchers Council of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Ferris, thank you so much for joining me on the episode today, for showing
Appreciate it,
up,
Rob.
for coming out 2 weeks in a row. I know you have a busy schedule. I know you've been crisscrossing continents.
Mm-hmm.
Made it back just in time.
Doesn't time.
Let everyone know
Yeah,
what you'll be up to here on the Let's Get Rayne Network.
Tomorrow at 3 o'clock, we're going to do Angel. Angel will be dropping. And then tomorrow at a special time at 4:30, it'll be Good Friends, Better Rivals. We're going to push it back for a little bit. Me and Caleb will be breaking down the offensive positional groups of the NFC East.
Ooh.
And then, yeah, that's it.
You sad? Are you sad that Aaron Rodgers is going to play for the Steelers and not your beloved New York Giants?
Nope. I'm very happy. Very happy.
Yeah. I don't think you need any more of a circus over that. Okay,
Yep.
guys. As for myself, the first episode of the 25-26 season of Playoff Beers dropped last night. I was talking about what happened with the NHL draft and the first day or two of free agency. More news coming out today when one of my beloved Winnipeg Jets has moved on. It's very sad. But good for him. He got some good money in weird term. But anyways, that's hockey. And that's on the LGRN Sports channel. Good friends, better rivals over there first. Now, starting 11, we'll be back in August just to round out the sports talk here. And then, of course, I'll be joining Ferris to talk about Angel tomorrow. Which episode? The episode's expecting. We're expecting to talk about expecting.
Yeah, it's a very creepy, sad episode.
I'll tell you, it reminds me of another Buffy episode. We'll talk about that on the show tomorrow. Guys, we're also got a Rewatchers Council for the MCU. They're going to be talking about Guardians of the Galaxy this weekend. One of my absolute favorites.
Love it.
In the Marvel universe, that's for sure. And then, after starting this weekend, it will be back the following weekend. Danny and I are going to be talking about Squid Game Season 3. All right, that's it. Thanks, everybody, for watching / or listening. And until next time, in the words of Professor Margaret Walsh, we'll see you next time.